Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Before I start this video, I just wanted to mention I'm doing a live chat this Saturday, May 29th at 4 p.m. So click here or here and set a reminder for Saturday and I'll see you then. I might have some wine. Now, once in a while somebody will request I do some kind of video and I've either already done it or I'm just not that interested. But this YouTube user by the name of Beatles had a great idea. So thank you, Beatles. And now I'm going to take your great idea and say it was my idea. Excuse me, I found a hair out of place there. From 10cc, 4 very talented members, all 4 of them have really nice vocals. But if I had to choose, I would choose Eric Stewart. From AC/DC, the one, the only, Angus Young. From Aerosmith, I would choose Steven Tyler. I love his vocals, although like a lot of people that are fans of Aerosmith, I love their early work the most. With Toys in the Attic being my favorite Aerosmith album. From the Beatles. Now this would be when I was growing up, not now necessarily, but when the Beatles were together. My favorite was John Lennon. I guess probably, considering that I think my 3 favorite Beatles songs are Strawberry Fields Forever, A Day in the Life, and Tomorrow Never Knows, he would still be my favorite, but Paul McCartney's not too shabby either. Black Sabbath. I think some of you would choose Ozzy, but I would go with Tony Iommi, the king of the awesome guitar riff, or one of the kings. From Blue Oyster Cult, I would choose the very underrated guitarist and songwriter and singer, Buck DeHarma. And that's right, I said his name properly. A few months ago, some guy was freaking out. I kept saying his name wrong. And he hasn't been back to my channel since. From Canned Heat, one of my favorite 60s bands, Alan Wilson. I loved his vocals and guitar work and the songs that he wrote for the band. From Cheap Trick, once again a very underrated singer, Robin Zander. From Cream, I would choose Eric Clapton. From Creedence Clearwater Revival, now this was a difficult one, John Fogerty. From Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, see with this one, if separate, like all 4 of them, of course I would choose Neil Young. He's one of my all-time favorite solo artists. But in Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, I would go with David Crosby. Almost Cut My Hair is probably one of my favorite songs by Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young from any of their early albums. And Deja Vu, of course. From Deep Purple, I would choose Ritchie Blackmore. From Devo, I would choose their lead singer, Mark Mothersbaugh, and keyboardist. From Fleetwood Mac, now this is one that some people would not agree with, I know, but I would go with Lindsey Buckingham. Even though Stevie Nicks is great, I have nothing against her. Especially on Tusk, I like that they kind of went a little less commercial and some pretty wacky songs, especially from Lindsey Buckingham, and I really enjoyed them. And of course, he's a Once again, a killer guitarist. From Genesis, some of you would probably pick Phil Collins. No, I would pick Peter Gabriel. Comparable to Creedence Clearwater Revival, Grand Funk Railroad, another not too difficult one, of course. I'd choose Mark Farner, although Don Brewer on drums, great drummer and a great singer too. And Mel Shocker on bass, one of my favorite all-time bassists, but you know, if I had to choose, it would be Mark Farner. Somebody's got to let me know when my hair falls down. From Kiss, if I had to choose, I would choose Gene Simmons. He's not my favorite, personality-wise, but I loved his vocals in Kiss. I like his vocals the best. Led Zeppelin, I would have to pick Jimmy Page. Nazareth, as much as Dan McCafferty is a great underrated vocalist, I would go with a even more underrated artist, and that is the guitarist Manny Charlton, who was on the first few years he was in Nazareth. Very underrated guitarist. Pink Floyd, here we go. This is going to be a battle. I would go with David Gilmour, even though Roger Waters, of course, wrote a lot of great songs for the band. I just love David Gilmour, his vocals, and of course, his guitar work was excellent. I was going to make a joke and then I thought it would be serious and just say excellent. Queen. There are really four. I mean, Freddie Mercury, of course, is my choice, and probably 90% of people's choices, but I mean, all four of those members were so talented. And Roger Taylor, I love his vocals too on a lot of the Queen songs. Radiohead. I know most of you would go for the singer, but I'm going with the guitarist, Johnny Greenwood. He always looks so cool, and he is just an amazing guitarist. And I love the early Radiohead albums. The Rolling Stones. I'm sure most of you would probably pick Mick Jagger, but maybe not, I don't know. But I would pick Keith Richards. Rush. Now this is one where you can't really make a choice, but I have to, of course, because I don't want a gun to my head. I guess I would choose Alex Lifeson. He's the funniest member. He's a great comedian. He is an excellent guitarist, amazing guitarist. But of course the whole band is amazing. Sparks. It's basically between two brothers, Ron and Russell Mael. And if I had to, I would choose Ron Mael for, of course, all of his great songwriting. One of the best songwriters in rock music is how I feel. And great keyboardist, of course, and then his personality, especially the early years with his stage look that even Paul McCartney parodied in his Coming Up video. Talking Heads, another easy one, at least for me, David Byrne. The Beach Boys, Mike Love. I wonder if I caught anybody with that one. That was funny. Mike Love, my favorite Beach Boy. Of course it would be Brian Wilson, but the whole band, very talented. His two brothers, of course. And even Mike Love. I like his vocals in the Beach Boys. The Clash, Joe Strummer. The Doors, Jim Morrison. The Eagles. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles, but of course I I admire their talent and their songwriting skills, and I do love Don Henley's vocals. The Guess Who, Burton Cummings. The Tragically Hip, another great Canadian band. The lead singer, Gord Downie. The Who. Now this is one where some would probably pick Keith Moon or John Entwistle, Roger Daltrey, but I'm going with Pete Townsend. I think he's one of the few, he's a genius. He's a musical genius. And through the years, every year goes by, it's like, oh my God, he's sang a lot of the Who songs, like a lead, or you would hear his vocals on a lot of Who songs, and I loved his vocals in the Who also. Three Dog Night, three great singers and a great band behind them, and I would have to choose Chuck Negron. U2. Back in the day, I was a huge fan of U2, and I still love their early stuff. And if I had to choose, it would be Bono. The Velvet Underground, Lou Reed, although the whole band was awesome. Wings. I'm going to have to choose Paul McCartney. He was pretty good in that band. XTC, I would go with Andy Partridge. Yes, as much as I love the whole, Chris Squire and of course Steve Howe is possibly my all-time favorite guitarist. I'm going with the lead singer of the original lineup, John Anderson. Absolutely one of my all-time favorite people in rock music. He'd be in the top 5 for vocals. Maybe sometimes number 1. And ZZ Top, I would go with Billy Gibbons. And I realized here that I only have 39, so I got to pick one more. Let me think of another band. Let's change it up a bit for my 40th pick. I'll say Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Obviously Frank Zappa, but one of his band members. I would go with probably, there's Ruth Underwood too, but I would go with George Duke on keyboards, and of course I loved his vocals too. So that's 40 artists and my favorite person in each band. I would love your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.